It's not too far away from the Louisville area. Felt like this is the time to do a Facebook video. I've probably got about 50 minutes or so where I can stay with these storms before I'm going to have to get ready for the newscast. So I felt like we can probably get good coverage as these storms move across the area and then approach the Louisville area. Bottom line is we do have severe weather in southern Indiana. We have some reports of tree damage in areas like Seymour. Uniontown reported some hail. Strong storms continue along 71. For what it's worth, the races, the Xfinity races tonight were canceled because of the potential for severe weather and the storms moving across the area. So the bottom line is we've got a lot to talk about here tonight. So that's going to be our topic of tonight, is severe weather potential as we look across our area. Damaging winds, hail on the table for some of us. Timing from yesterday. Overall, we said 7 to 9 for Louisville, so I think we're going to be fairly close there. And just a reminder, guys, we are riding a streak of 88 nights in a row with above 1,000 shares. So remember, guys, please share the video. Let your friends know that Marc Weinberg is discussing severe weather potential in our area. By the way, just got a report of hail and some strong winds there from Chalet in the Scottsburg, Indiana area. So with these storms making their move off to the south, as you can kind of imagine, a lot of people probably are interested. So share the video to let your friends know and invite new people in. Again, for the obvious reason that we can let them know that there are strong to severe storms in the area. It's also a nice thing to be able to, when there are severe storms like this, one of the things that we have done is we cut into programming if we deem something a major threat to life and property. Now, social media allows us to offer you the ability to watch your program. So sometimes there are a segment of people that simply don't care unless it's really affecting their area. And in that kind of a scenario, social media gives me a unique opportunity where I can still go into storm potential in our area without disrupting those that still want to watch. And so what you can do is watch TV, have your phone in the other hand, and get that severe weather report and information. So please, guys, like, love, and share the video if you enjoy these severe weather updates. Remember, I will have time at the end of the video, like I always do, for question and answer. One question I have for you guys is, if you live in Scottsburg or Austin, I'm getting hail reports. If you guys report what you're seeing, please do me a favor, tell me hail size. And the reason that's important is that way I can pass that along to the Weather Service so that they can then determine whether they're going to continue warnings. And also, it gives them storm reports to verify what they issue when it comes to warnings. So thus far, reports within our area, not a whole lot. Seymour reporting some small tree damage that I saw. Uniontown reported some hail. And then we're getting the Scottsburg and Austin area reporting some hail right now. But what we're looking for is size so we can pass that info along. So let's get it updated on what we have going on in our area. I'm going to start off by showing you guys where we have warnings. Warnings are in effect. Washington, Scott, Jefferson County, Clark County in Indiana. We cross over into Trimble County under a severe thunderstorm warning. Now, the Clark, Jefferson, Scott, and Trimble County warning is in effect until 8:15. The Clark, Floyd, Scott, and Washington County warning is in effect until 8:30. Next, we have a flash flood warning in effect for Jackson, Jennings County. This is through 10:30 p.m. Here's a look at radar right now so you can see what's going on in our area. We've got storms near Bloomington, Bedford, and then we have the severe storms right now from Austin, Scottsburg, through Madison, and then arcing into Trimble County. So let me put on the warnings here so we can go through each one of them and assess what we've got. We're going to start on the furthest east part of this. So you can see right now we've got thunderstorms moving through New Liberty, and then they approach I-71 near the Carroll-Trimble County line. Severe thunderstorm right now, including the Bedford area. This warning is in effect until 8:15. It's now 8:15:06. So that warning has been allowed to expire from the National Weather Service. We'll see if the National Weather Service does choose to issue a new warning. Until 8:30, Clark, Floyd, Scott, Washington County, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning. Thus far, what we had as those storms moved through Austin is we had reports of hail in Austin and Scottsburg. Still trying to find out what the size of that hail is, but there is at least some hail being reported as the storms move through Scottsburg and Underwood. And then we run out to the west, and we've got a strong thunderstorm right now. Not severe, but that storm is near Bedford, Marshall, and Pleasant Run. And so what I'd like to do is track the parts of this line so you can get a sense for your area what time these storms would arrive. They've started to make a progression or more of a move off to the south. So what I'm going to do is zoom this out a little bit wider. They're moving off to the south at around 30 miles an hour. By the way, the National Weather Service on this part of the line that I'm showing you has gone with what we refer to as a strong thunderstorm, which is probably 50-mile-an-hour winds and some small hails. Campbellsburg a minute, 7 minutes in the Gratz area. This will be in the Newcastle area 16 minutes from now. Eminence 27 minutes from now. 31 minutes from now in the Pleasureville area. And about 45 minutes from now in the Christiansburg area. Moving to the west, the severe part of that line, and I want to focus specifically on that part of the line, moving southeast at around 30, puts it in Blue Lick, Memphis area, 11 minutes from now. Winds to 60 miles an hour possible for you. New Washington, 18 minutes from now. Charlestown, 25 minutes from now. The right now track would take it just northeast of the Jefferson-Oldham County line, so it puts it in Goshen, 37 minutes from now. And Greenhaven about 40 minutes from now. Moving to the northwest, we've got this other portion of the line, and what I want to show you is that part of the line is starting to make a dip more towards the south. So you'll notice in the earlier it was tracking more towards the east-southeast, and now it's making a move more towards the south-southeast. So we've seen a change in motion on that storm. That's not that uncommon because it has a cold outflow off to the east, and this guy is going to try to stay into the warmer air as it dives a little more towards the south-southeast. 4 minutes from now, Spice Valley. 11 minutes from now puts it around 8:30 in the Mitchell area. 23 minutes from now in Orleans, which will put it in there at 8:40. 30 minutes from now in Northeast and Paoli. About 41 minutes from now, which would put it in your area in the neighborhood of around 9 p.m. So wide perspective, and then putting everything into motion. And let me get that storm track off the map for you. Last hour shows the storms are all sagging off to the south, southeast. So does this guarantee that everybody's going to see severe weather? The answer is absolutely not. In fact, my feeling is we're going to continue to see, as we referred to yesterday, scattered severe thunderstorm warnings with scattered damage as the storms move across the area. We'll take a look at what we've got for fuel in areas like Louisville right now. Our skies have turned mostly cloudy in Louisville. We're still 86, and what you'll notice is our winds have not shifted around to the north yet, so we know that the outflow is not driven through. What that means is we still have plenty of fuel in Louisville to support thunderstorms, and some of which will likely be strong. So 8 o'clock, this is advanced track. You can see the storms are near Louisville right around 9:30. Yesterday we said between around 8:10, 7 and 9 in the Louisville area. We said likely on the later part of that time frame, so I think that part's going to verify. So some strong to severe approaching Louisville around 9:30. Those storms you'll notice at 10:30 really are losing their punch. By 11 they're in the southern part of our area near E-Town. And as we move towards 1 o'clock, the storms generally pull away from our area with the intensity coming down. You'll notice second that the rainfall amounts on this are much better along and north of the river, with many of us catching near a ½ an inch, and south of the river we're seeing more of a trend towards under a ¼ of an inch of rain as the storms move through the area. So I want to go back one last time. 8 p.m. right now in the Seymour, Bedford, North Vernon, Madison area. As we move towards 9, approaching the Ohio River, really 64 is a good definer at the 9 and 9:30 time frame, which includes areas like Shelbyville, Eminence, Newcastle, includes areas like Jeffersonville, New Albany, Louisville, includes areas like Tell City. Strong storms continue at 10:30 from Frankfort through around Bardstown, or through E-Town if they hold together, and then 11 through around 12:30 we see a marked decrease on the intensity of the storms as they continue their movement off to the south. So that is an update as of 8 o'clock where we stand to 8:20 on our storms. Obviously, like I said, I know we're going to have a lot of questions with the storms across the area. One thing I want to note here is just got a new severe thunderstorm warning on one of the storms on the northern edge, and I want to show you that severe thunderstorm warning. It's the one that I talked to you about in Lawrence County that's starting to make more of a southward surge, which normally means that you're transitioning more towards a damaging wind threat. And I want to show you that storm right now. Lawrence and Martin County, which is Mitchell Tree, now under a severe thunderstorm warning through 9 p.m. So the dangerous part of the storm right now is right over Bedford and around the Terry Park area, heading towards Mitchell. Storm moving off to the south, also like the rest of them, in the neighborhood of around 30 miles an hour. So this puts it in the Mitchell area in about 10 minutes, Orleans in about 28 minutes. And if the severe threat holds together, it would be in northeast around 40 minutes or so from now. So that's kind of an update on where we currently stand. Remember, before we jump into Q&A, if you guys enjoy being able to get severe weather updates like this on Facebook, what I would ask from you is please do me a favor. Share the video. Let your friends know that they can get severe weather updates. Give me a thumbs up to let me know that you guys enjoy these. And let's get me up to 1,000 shares. 1,000 shares, if we make it tonight, would be 89 nights in a row. I believe it's 89 nights in a row above 1,000 shares. That is really closing quickly on a 900 and getting close to 100 days in a row, which is remarkable. I say it on a normal basis that we get metrics for social media, and we're in a different league, and it's because of you guys. Honestly, on a consistent basis, we blow everybody out of the water. It's not even close. So we're sitting at 462 shares. I need everybody to share the video at least one more time so we can get our video out to more people. And let's open it up to questions, guys. Questions. Julie, torrential rain in Henryville right now. I appreciate that update. If you guys see any damage or hail, please tell me what kind of damage and what size hail. April's asking about the Brandenburg area. My feeling is it's probably going to be near your area, 10 to 11, and I feel like the severe threat exists, but it's a little better to your east. A like and a share from Steve. After you share the video, guys, if you share it more than 3 times, comment down below so I can give you a shout out. Eric is asking when they make it to Grayson County, are they still going to be severe? I can't take it off the table, but my feeling is that it would be unlikely. Great question. Bobby said, what causes green colors in the clouds? That is a really good question. There has been some research, and the research has indicated that there's a loose correlation between green clouds and hail. Now, I can tell you as a storm chaser, I saw green a lot, and virtually every time I saw it, it did hail. But you got to remember, when you're a storm chaser, you're at the most severe and the worst part of the storm. So, bottom line is that obviously can give, me somewhat of a bias. I appreciate that. Daisy just reported hail and large trees down in Milton. So let me send that across to the National Weather Service. So you guys can see how your information that you can pass along can help, as then I can pass it along to the National Weather Service. So the info on what you're seeing is always very, very valuable. 4 shares from Amanda. Let me give you a thumbs up on that, Amanda. I appreciate that. Heavy winds in Scottsburg. I appreciate that update. Nick is asking for a shout out for his business. Nick, I can't do that stuff, my friend. I wish I could help you, but that is strictly against station rules and would get me in big trouble. So, Hillary with 4 shares, thank you. Don's asking about just rain or hail expected in Newcastle. You could see some hail, but more I would say is 50-mile-an-hour winds. So, a 50-mile-an-hour wind can still do damage. As far as, are we talking about a widespread destructive event? No, but some damaging winds are definitely on the table. New Salisbury, Indiana, storms continue to move through. Let me go through New Salisbury. My feeling is that you're going to have to wait for that second batch if it's going to be severe, which is in Lawrence County right now. Ashley in Clarksville, when's the timing? Clarksville, this initial wave may miss you, so about an hour-ish. Shepherdsville, about 90 minutes or so from now. Fern Creek, about 80 minutes from now, which would be between 9:30 and 10. Valley Station, my feeling is around 9:30 to 10-ish. Christina's saying hopefully it goes past Scottsburg soon. I can totally understand that. Somebody asked about Louisville. Guys, if I mention Fern Creek or Valley Station, you got to imply that means Louisville. So if I mention the town, just to try to avoid clogging the feed, please try to imply your area from the town. Memphis, Indiana. So the storms are just off to your north near Charlestown right now. So the strong part of the storm is approaching you quick. Carroll County, I just got a downpour. Yeah, and you're kind of already quickly getting onto the back edge. So you can see these things are moving through pretty quick. Tell City, probably between 10 and 11. As far as severe, can't take it off the table. I don't think we're talking about a large severe threat for you. Lexington, about 60 minutes from now. Will Scottsburg get another round? It is conceivable with that second storm that's on the back edge. And I do want to keep an eye on that Lawrence County storm only because it does have a little tail on it and showing subtle rotation right now near Huron, which is in the western part of the county. Rick and I are both here. We're watching it pretty closely. Everything we watch closely. Bloomfield, my feeling for Bloomfield, Bardstown is probably near midnight-ish, 11 to midnight. Steve is saying I'm heading to Derby area. Should I wait? Steve, can't answer that, honestly. I'm just a meteorologist. You guys just have to decide on your own what you're willing to drive through or not. Part of the problem with that is I find out that when you tell somebody what to do, they then turn and bash you. So let's say I say don't go and you like, you know what, it wasn't that bad. Or you do go and you say it was really bad. Well, I don't know what's really bad for you. So it's very, very difficult. If there's a tornado warning, obviously it's very easy to say don't. But when you have strong thunderstorms, it's real tough because everybody's perception can be quite different with respect to what you should do. Corridon, my thinking is that second storm, so about 60 to 90 minutes from now. Kedrick is in Bedford, yeah, right to your south. So there is a subtle area of rotation west of Mitchell right now in southern parts of Lawrence County. So we're watching that storm. Shepherdsville, will you get it around 9 and 9:30? My thinking is 9:30 to 10, more in that frame. Amanda's asking how severe in Valley Station. For an individual single location, it's impossible to tell you on a scenario like this if you're guaranteed to see severe. So unfortunately that's not within the skill set, but 9:30 to 10 it looks like, in my opinion, storms will be moving across your area. Michaela's asking about New Albany, thinking about 9:30 to 10. But there's a storm near north. I feel like the Bedford one is going to be the stronger for you. Breckenridge County, probably 10 to 10:30-ish. That would cover Meade County. Henry County, there already are storms in Henry County. So right now, 50-mile-an-hour winds are the main threat. It's just north of, let's say, around the Newcastle, Eminence area. Bedford saying it's pouring. I appreciate the update, Matt. Thank you. Let me update you guys on where we are on our shares. Remember, trying to get over 1,000 for 89 nights in a row, which is a huge number. I'm really kind of excited about the fact that we may make it over 1,000 shares for 100 nights in a row, which when we started going that high, I never even dreamed something like that was possible. 800 shares right now. Jeremiah's asking, why do the winds calm traditionally before bad storms? So that's not always the case. In fact, if you think about a day like 2012 Henryville Day, it was roaring wind ahead of the storm. So some of these mean storms will literally suck air into them at a vicious pace. We call it inflow, and then the tornado or the nasty part of the storm can come through. So it doesn't always go calm before the storm. Charlestown, by the way, your warning has since been allowed to expire. Only warning in effect right now for our area is Lawrence County. By the way, the National Weather Service, Rick, I'll mention this to you, says they're typing up a warning for Jefferson County, Kentucky. So Louisville, it looks like, is about to go under a severe thunderstorm warning. National Weather Service noting Louisville is likely to go under, part of Louisville under a severe thunderstorm warning, so we are watching that. To me, it would probably be the northeast part of the county. Somebody said bad night to put up a pool. Yeah, that one I can tell you. Yeah, bad idea. Valerie's asking about Louisville. Will Louisville get rain? Okay, severe thunderstorm warning just issued for Louisville. This does include almost the whole county. So as anticipated, for what it's worth, I got to say that our weather service in Louisville in particular is great. They are very, very effective at letting us know what's going on. For the most part, and I got to tell you that makes our job much, much easier. So Metro Louisville now under a severe thunderstorm warning. Let me tweet this real quickly. You guys can see right there the area. I'm just mentioning that I'm doing a Facebook Live video. So that people, if they're watching or if they're just on social media browsing, they can get their information. So, guys, let your friends know, by the way, if you live in Metro Louisville, that we're under a severe thunderstorm warning, almost the whole county. This is for the storm just north of downtown Louisville. Rick, FYI, 3/4-inch hail, 60 mile an hour, the main threat. So the storm right now, worst part of the storm is in Henryville, Memphis, near Perry Crossing. So just new scan puts it very, very close to Silver Creek. My feeling is we're probably going to get some isolated reports of some damage as this moves through, but summertime thunderstorms do have some degree of complexity because you can get what we call microbursts, which are these areas of enhanced damaging winds that occur very quickly with little warning. So what we're seeing is the strongest winds right now over Sellersburg, and within the radar scans, I'm seeing 56-knot winds. So in my opinion, this was a justified and good severe thunderstorm warning from the National Weather Service. It does appear to me 50 to 60 mile an hour winds are likely from Sellersburg to near downtown Louisville. Ultimately, in the Highlands, we know the Highlands is particularly susceptible to wind damage because of the more aged trees in that area. Would move through Bardstown Road in the Highlands, and then ultimately going down towards Fern Creek. So timing. Clarksville, severe 60 mile an hour winds 14 minutes from now. Jeffersonville, 60 mile an hour winds 13 to 17 minutes from now. Downtown Louisville, 22 to 30 minutes from now, which is very close to the 9 p.m. time frame. Shively, 30 minutes from now. That does include Valley Station, 30 minutes from now. In J-Town, Fern Creek around 40 minutes from now, which puts it at the 9-10 area. 60 mile an hour winds are possible. Damaging winds, again, possible within this line. I need you guys in Louisville to take the warning. Avoid going outside now. I can tell you in Louisville it's probably a bad idea. In particular, downtown along 65 and east to probably be trying the outdoor plans in the next 30 minutes. Let's let the storm go by so that we don't have to deal with any major issues. But this warning includes Clark, Floyd. Let me go over to the warning information. This includes Clark, Floyd, Jefferson, and Oldham County under the severe thunderstorm warning until 9:15. Clark, Floyd, Jefferson, and Oldham County till 9:15. Somebody asked how long I'll be staying on Facebook with you guys. I'll probably try to take this thing through Louisville. I've got to, at some point, get ready for the 10 o'clock news, but I'll stay with you guys as long as I can. Remember, guys, let your friends know there is a severe thunderstorm warning. It does include Metro Louisville. And just please, if you guys could, love the video if you enjoy being able to get information through Facebook, and share that video out with your friends. So honestly, the simple truth is the more people I reach, the better I am off. That's really what my goal is with everything I do, is to reach as many people as possible. And that occurs through you guys sharing, liking, loving the video. It's called engagement. And the way the Facebook works is when they deem something hot, they release it to more people. So that is really the reason why I asked that. Jeffersonville, winds are picking up right now. That is the storm approaching you. Okay, I'm going to go over to tower cam so you can see what it looks like outside right now in Louisville. So this is a look outside. Wow, you can see the shelf cloud pretty nicely. So this is what we refer to. You guys probably hear me say the word shelfie. That's it. That right there is the shelf cloud going across the sky. Underneath the shelf you can see right here. So what will happen is the shelf cloud will blast through and you'll get into what we call the whale's mouth. So when you get in the whale's mouth, you look directly up and it looks very turbulent. So once this nose of the shelf moves into your area, the winds will pick up. And that's when you should expect the 50 to 60 mile an hour winds in Louisville. I'm going to stay with this shot for a little bit because it will allow you to see the storms as they move across Louisville. By the way, we're still not at 1,000 shares, so guys, please continue to like, love, and share the video if you enjoy the ability to get your severe weather information through Facebook. Palmyra said extremely windy, the wind's picking up. Mike saying wind's getting real strong. So somebody asked a legit question, do we have a shelter in our work? We have a below ground cellar. So if we needed to go into a basement, we could. And we have a scenario that would allow us to stay on air if we ever need to take shelter. If you asked me would I take shelter during a tornado if there's in Metro Louisville, my answer would be I'd probably have to be dragged down, but if I was forced to, I probably would. My feeling is my job is to protect you guys, so I don't know how I would deal with that one. I know that my preference obviously would be to stay with you guys as much as possible. So you can see the base of the shelf now getting much, much closer to Louisville, and you can see it's becoming more defined there on that shot. Hail, some pea-sized hail is possible. Doesn't look like the damaging, destructive style hail. E-Town, my feeling is that if it's going to make it to E-Town, it would be in the 11 to midnight time frame, but my feeling is it's probably going to be on the lower end of the intensity. Angela with a share twice. Thank you, Angela. By the way, guys, after you share the video, do me a favor, comment down below so I can give you a shout out. Okolona, probably about 30 minutes from now, so closing on the 9 to 9:10 time frame. Highview, my feeling for Highview is probably going to be in your area right around the 9-ish time frame. Whiskey Run saying very, very windy now. Trees down in some houses in Hanover. I'm going to give that report over to the Weather Service. Give me 1 second on this. Okay, guys, any information that you can pass along is always valuable. Like I said, it helps basically us just get the information of the Weather Service, who then can decide what to do. Candace with 5 more shares. Thank you. Mount Washington just got a new warning, by the way, on the west edge. You can see, by the way, how that shelf is really evolving. Rick, you seen this thing? It is nasty looking. I'll come back to this. Let me update you on the latest warning that's in our area right now. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is the edge. Remember I said it was more likely to go severe on the back edge. So now Paoli, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning. Salem, severe thunderstorm warning until 9:15 p.m. For Orange, Washington County, Rick 60s and 1 inch on that one is the main threat. And if you're wondering why Rick and I are communicating back and forth like this, it's because he's pushing to social media through a post while I'm on with you guys. So 10 minutes from now, 60 mile an hour winds, 1 inch size hail possible in the Paoli area, 19 minutes from now in the Livonia area, 29 minutes from now, or 9:10 in Salem, 39 minutes from now, 30 minutes from now in Southeast, which is 9:10, and Pierce 43 minutes from now. The other part of the storm, the severe moving towards Louisville, you can see part of the core is coming down quickly in the downtown Louisville area. That said, it does look like the eastern side of Louisville would have the best chance of getting damaging winds 8 minutes from now in Jeffersonville, 16 minutes from now in the Middletown area, 25 minutes from now at 9:05 in J-Town, 37 minutes from now in Newburgh, and 40 minutes from now in the Highview area, which puts it in Highview right around 9:20. Rick, you're looking at the gates in there. In Louisville, What do you think? Still looking at the 50 to 60 mile an hour range?
I'm seeing some 54 days. So yeah, I think that's probably a good bet. 50 to 60, 65 at the max.
Okay, so we're thinking 60s, worst case 65. Right now, the strongest would be along I-265 in southern Indiana, about 1 mile east of I-65. Sellersburg, strong winds in your area, and then up to 60 mile an hour winds approaching Charlestown. So the strongest winds would be in Jeffersonville, 12 minutes from now. Downtown Louisville, if they hold, would be around 14 minutes from now. Eastern part of the county along the 71 would put it basically in around the 14 minutes from now time frame, and then around 30 minutes from now crossing I-64 east of downtown Louisville. New Albany, it's possible you're probably going to see 40 to 50, but the stronger look like they're staying off to your east. So the core right now of the strongest winds is now approaching downtown Louisville, about 4 miles or so out. What I want to do is take you back to our tower cam so you can see this is downtown Louisville now. We are in the shelf. Do me a favor, Rick, can you just let them know I'm going to go peek outside so that I don't shock anybody. What I'm going to do is take you guys outside so you can see what it looks. What's that? Okay, so we're going to go outside, guys, and see what it looks like outside in the downtown area. Wanted to show you guys basically as the severe storms are moving in. So this is what it looks like downtown Louisville. You can see we've got tree limbs that are blowing around. You can see some leaves flying. And you can see downtown, this is our skyline. You can see the shelf cloud. Honestly, there's some small pieces of, looks like wind blowing some small pieces of debris up, where it doesn't look like any parts of trees or anything like that, but you can see things flying in the air. My feeling is we're probably looking at 50, 55 mile an hour winds approaching downtown. And you can see the little pieces I mentioned of some debris flying. That's in the whale's mouth of the shelf cloud in downtown Louisville. Strongest winds hitting downtown right now. Again, you can see the turbulence to the air. Notice our trees now starting to blow hard as we're looking at in the neighborhood of around probably 40 to 50 downtown. I feel like it's on the table that we could do around 60, and you can see perspective. There's our water garden, and there's the sky here where you can see we are in the whale's mouth now of the shelf cloud as it's moving through downtown Louisville, and you can see looking up, nasty looking line of storms as it comes through downtown. My feeling is we probably saw 40 to 50 mile an hour downtown, but that shelf that's east of downtown I feel like has a better chance of doing that closer to 60 mile an hour winds. So if you're downtown or east of downtown Louisville, use caution for winds up to 60 mile an hour, potentially damaging. And you can see underneath the shelf cloud that continued very, very turbulent look to the sky and what we refer to as the whale's mouth. And you can see this is looking straight up. Look at how nasty and fast that's moving. And if you look closely, you can even see a little subtle rotation within that shelf in that whale's mouth right now. And as it's turning sharply cooler, notice right there that subtle rotation within that storm as it's moving through downtown. So I'm going to go back inside so we can keep eyes on radar. But you can see that's basically the storm as it's coming through downtown, likely producing 50 to 60 mile an hour winds east of downtown Louisville. My estimate would be in the neighborhood of 40 as it came through the downtown area. But as I said earlier, I feel like the stronger winds are probably going to be slightly off to the east of downtown Louisville. Back over to Storm View HD. On what we have going on right now, we've got a couple of areas where we have severe. You'll notice the cluster showing a downward trend in downtown Louisville, but there is a nasty shelf cloud. You just saw what it looks like. We are in what we refer to as the whale's mouth, which is underneath the shelf. It's a very turbulent looking sky. It will turn sharply cooler. My feeling is the most likely area to see damaging winds right now would be from Riverwood, Bourbon Mead through Fincastle, along 71. This would put it in Worthington, Lakeland, and Middletown. Hurstbourne in the next 5 to 7 minutes. Tracking this off to the south. I'm going to need to take it out a little bit wider because we've got about 30 mile an hour motion on this. Moving off to the south at around 30-ish. Puts it Linden, 7 to 9 minutes from now, damaging winds in the J-Town area, 17 to 23 minutes from now. And then in the Seatonville area, around 38 minutes from now. Downtown, my assessment would be around 40 mile an hour winds occurred when that moved through the downtown area, but they could have been as high as 50. And then we've got another severe area. This is Paoli. Right now it's in Paoli. So the information on this particular warning now. Severe thunderstorm warning through 9:15 for Orange and Washington County. Winds up to 60 mile an hour, 1-inch size hail. Track on this part of the line. Let's put it along this part, moving to the south also at around 30. Puts it in the southeast area 18 minutes from now. Marengo 29 minutes, which would be right around 9:15. Whiskey Run 33 minutes from now. And then in the Pierce area, 38 minutes from now. Back over to Tower Cam. You can see outside in downtown what it looks like. Again, I just want you guys to know what you're seeing and what it means from meteorology, because I know that this kind of stuff can be scary. So somebody is saying ban Mike. So I will come back and look. And if we have problems with somebody being disruptive in here, honestly, I'll just toss them out. So let me go back up here and look really quickly to see if I need to give someone the permanent boot. A lot of people are saying ban this guy, so it looks like this is probably worth it. It doesn't look like anything is ban-worthy that I see right now, but I'll take a look back. So guys, let me give you guys more opportunities here for Q&A. Since I'll show you what it looks like on radar and outside, and I'll give you guys more time for questions. Lara's saying thanks for the coverage. DirecTV TV went out, and I totally understand that. That's one of the reasons we do this. Rick, you're looking at gates right now. My sense is the gates may have come down just a little bit. Looks like false gates that are southeast of downtown, but what are you seeing?
40, 44 knots.
So we're looking at probably about 50 mile an hour winds that are moving through downtown Louisville. Oh, somebody's saying I was joking about getting struck by lightning. Honestly, that's probably a bad joke, but I don't think that's going to be ban-worthy. So I always say that, you know, there has to be some degree of free speech in these. As long as people aren't being abusive and abrasive in their language or just being downright evil to other people, I'll normally let them stay. Eastwood saying, looking at a shelf cloud, yeah, I mean, this is classic. You guys can see what this looks like outside. I mean, it really looks nasty. You know, at the same time, his bark can be worse than the bite sometimes. Somebody's asking about tornado threat in Corridor, and I would say it's low, but I can't put it at 0. Mount Washington getting anything? Yeah, you'll probably see the line of this thunderstorm moving through downtown. Let me go back and look at the area again. Jeffersonville saying getting strong winds now. And yeah, the winds are probably in the 40 to 50 mile an hour in Jeffersonville. LaGrange, the gates are going to be unreliable because the basically velocity can only be measured radially. And what that means is that the storm has to be coming from west to east to get a good measure in East Oldham County. So what this means is the data is unreliable with respect to radial velocity. So my feeling is from what I'm seeing is 50 to 60. Lots of wind in Jeffersonville. I appreciate that. Taylor Boulevard saying they're seeing some of the rotation. That's within the shelf that I just saw outside as well. I can confirm I saw something similar. Somebody said they had lots of rain and some hail. Raining hard, lots of heavy rain in Jeffersonville. Thank you. Threat for E-Town. E-Town, I think that if you're going to get it, it's going to have to come from the second line, and that would probably be about 2 hours from now. New Albany going to be between the two storms. No, I feel like the second storm is going to have a decent chance of getting to New Albany. People are saying it's beautiful looking out there. Yeah, I mean, it's really amazing when you look at these shelf clouds. It's really a sight to see. And this is what radar looks like, by the way, on the current right now. And you can see the two clusters of storms moving south. Said yesterday we were going to get some warnings. Didn't think we were going to be talking about a monster blowaway event. But at the same time, felt like we would absolutely see some warnings and some that would likely verify within our area. So, you know, this is pretty much kind of what we were thinking on the storms coming across the area. Fern Creek, Rick, can you do me a favor? Can you ask them to try to turn the tower cam south right now so we can see what it still looks like that way? Somebody asked about Palmyra. So the first area of storms has moved past. You're now talking about the second area of storms approaching. So Palmyra right now, if it hits you, you're probably talking about 920-ish. Anything left for Madison? Here you are, Madison. Worst is moved through. Severe weather threat over for you. Palmyra, you could see up to 60-mile-an-hour winds if that storm holds together. It's one of the stronger storms. Another round of storm for Madison. No, I feel like we're show over. All right, guys, so I'm going to take you back to our tower cam. As you can see, the full effect of what a shelf cloud looks like. So this is the shelf cloud, and we are in the whale's mouth. So the shelf is right here, and the whale's mouth is all of this. Now, what you'll notice underneath that is the winds. You can see the winds are moving quickly, and you can see right where I've shown that arrow, those winds are rapidly moving through. So this is a classic example of a shelf cloud right here, and the turbulent clouds underneath that we call being in the whale's mouth. Once the nose of the shelf moves through, the winds will gust to 50 and 60 mile an hour, and then they will come down. But you can clearly see the motion from west to east within the whale's mouth right now of the shelf cloud. And mean looking. I mean, isn't that nasty looking? I always try to teach about meteorology because I feel like if you're armed with information and you're outside and you see this approaching, you now will know exactly what you're looking at. You can say, I see a shelf cloud approaching. That's the nose of the gusty winds. And then you can look up and say, okay, I'm in the whale's mouth of the shelf cloud. That means that I'm in the strongest winds and that they will start to decrease shortly after. Like I said, I really always try to teach because I feel like if you're armed with information and knowledge, it's going to give you a better chance to assess threat level when you're outside. And you guys know that something like this is scary looking. I mean, it's mean. And there's no question that something like this is going to create a high level of fear. And I totally get why. It looks mean. And so now you understand what a shelf is and what being in the whale's mouth of a shelf is as well. The nose of the gusty winds as you look at downtown Louisville. Please, guys, remember, if you're enjoying being able to get the weather information through Facebook, like, love, and share. Sharing the video is the most important thing to me. More shares, more people see my video, more effectively I am at communicating my threat with the public. Somebody's asking about what does it look like in Pekin. You bet. Of course, I'll show you. So here you go right now, downtown Louisville. East end of Louisville, no question, better surge. So damaging winds right now near Anchorage, heading to around the Simpsonville area. Simpsonville 4 to 6 minutes from now till damaging winds. Middletown through, let's say, Shelbyville Road outside of the Gene Snyder. Strongest winds right now. Then as we go to the west, we've got, as we go towards Paoli, Livonia, damaging winds possible up to 60-mile-an-hour winds. And then you can see from Fredericksburg through around Pekin, you're talking about 15 minutes or so from now for the strong to damaging winds to move across your area. Paoli, they're saying, you're saying you're getting the strong winds and the lightning right now. I appreciate it. Guys, if you're getting any damage in your area, whether it's trees down or winds, please share with me what you are seeing within your area, whether it's damaging winds or hail. If it's damaging winds, what kind of damage? Trees, how big are the trees? Secondly, if it's hail, what size? Lots of small branches coming down in Middletown. Appreciate that info. Lights blinking at their house. So I'm going to pass along the small branches in Middletown. So that just helps to give the information so that the National Weather Service can reassess. Amy is saying that dark clouds in Okolona, spooky. So you're seeing the shelf cloud. The shelf is mean looking in Louisville. Crazy winds right now in Fern Creek. Jacqueline, if you could, let me know any damage. Becky's saying that she enjoys me kind of teaching, and so you guys know what to expect. Jacqueline's asking on the second storm if it gets to New Albany when. Probably about, the winds could be a short burst in the now, but the better chance would be as that parent storm would come through in about an hour. So Leslie's in North Bullitt County and seeing the shelf. So if you're in Bullitt, look north. You'll see the nasty looking shelf cloud. Lots and lots of lightning on the east side of Louisville as well. Some shingles off of roofs in Borden. Thank you. Let me put that one. Thank you for that report. Audubon Park asking what level of damage. You have to remember, in old Louisville, trees go down a lot easier. And I say this a lot, that anytime a thunderstorm goes through Louisville, you're going to get tree damage, and there's almost no exception to that. So anything east of I-65, there could be some tree damage as the storms move through. Peas in LaGrange about 10 minutes ago, tiny limbs blown down. I appreciate that. And those descriptive words are good. It helps us to be able to assess threat level. Downtown Portland, dark, cloudy, and you'll notice it feels cooler quickly after the storm moves through. Shively, wind is blowing around like crazy. I believe that. Will the second round of storms be severe? For Louisville, probably unlikely, because you'll notice that this has cooled us down significantly. Lyndon saying a couple patio plants blew over, extremely gusty as a shelf cloud moved through. I love seeing that. I love seeing when people know what they're talking about now with meteorology as the shelf moved through. I appreciate that. Is Billick going to get bad storms? So I think the most likely extension of a warning would be, if it's bullet, it would be extreme northeast bullet, but I think that if we're to see severe, it would be Shelby, Spencer County would be the most likely, in far east Louisville. Sellersburg timing. So Sellersburg it's moving through now. The second area would come through in about an hour. So the National Weather Service after this is going what we refer to as strong. So they're not tagging it with severe right now. So for Bullitt, probably 50-mile-an-hour winds. Bullitt, Henry, rest of Jefferson County, Oldham, Shelby, and Spencer. Chuck is saying his satellite's out, and you guys can see why we do these. So if you appreciate it and you're a Dish subscriber or DirecTV, do me a favor, share the video. Let your friends know that you're able to get information through Facebook when you have storms like this, if we're not going to be on TV, because this is not necessarily needed for that. Eastern Louisville getting a lot of CGs, cloud-to-ground lightning strikes. I believe it. I've turned it off because it's hard to see on radar when there's lightning going nuts on there. What about Marengo? Marengo, the second storm would be your threat in about 55, 60 minutes. So Hikes Point reporting a power outage. Let me put that. So pass that along. I appreciate that. Amber saying medium-sized tree limbs down. If you guys can let me know the location, just your general city description so I can pass it along. Wind blowing in Okolona, I appreciate that. Shelf cloud in Elk Creek, I love seeing that you guys know what you're looking at. Hail high winds reported. Somebody's asking if I see any circulation near Paoli right now. Let me look real quickly. My feeling is no. We're looking more. There could be, what you're seeing is some subtle rotation within the line, because you do get that when you get outflows, but I don't see anything that's impending or a pending threat. Radcliffe, I'm not convinced that the storms are going to hold well for you, but I would put it about 90 minutes from now, 10:30, 11-ish. Will E-Town get anything? The second line would be the most likely, but generally around 11-ish. Rain just started in Germantown. Appreciate that update. Guys, remember to share the video. I want to get up over 1,000 shares for the 89th night in a row, which is nuts. But getting those shares up there, make sure we get over 1,000. Share several times, guys, just to make sure. Shively getting power flickers, I believe it. Those are the 40 to 50-mile-an-hour winds. Jeffersonville done. The strongest came through on the initial, but there's a secondary storm you can see behind that still has to move across the area. So still looking at storms sliding through our area here this evening. Let me make sure that's not blowing up. There you go, a little better. Winds in Highview, thank you. It's cool in Annetta. Adair County, I think it's going to struggle, honestly, to get to you, is my opinion on that one. Will Shively get anything severe? We'd have to watch a second line, but the initial is going to struggle to pretty severe in your part of the county. Campbellsville, probably just some strong thunderstorms, but I don't think they're going to be widespread severe. Cool winds in Highview, yeah, this will make it feel better. Let me quickly tell you guys how many shares we have, number one. Number two, what I'm going to be discussing on WDRB News at 10, and then I'm going to relax for a little bit because I got to give my voice a rest so I can go back at it in an hour. So WDRB News at 10, we've got this obvious shelf cloud that's moving through Louisville right now. You can see it behind me. This is the severe weather. Are we done for the night? The answer is for some no, for some yes. An update on who should expect strong thunderstorms during the overnight hours on WDRB News, 10 o'clock, top of the hour. 10:22, this front's going to have an impact on your weekend weather. Probably thinking, so is the impact good or bad? I'm going to talk about mid-80s, low humidity, and whether any storms could reflare during the weekend on WDRB News at 10:22, and then WDRB News at 10:37. How does 93 sound and humid? Probably not so good. I think it's coming back, and I think it could bring some thunderstorms, and some could possibly be strong, and I'll dial in when on WDRB News at 10:37. So 10, 10:22, 10:37 is when you guys need to tune in to watch me on WDRB News at 10. I say this a lot, but I'll say it again. I really appreciate your loyalty and support on social media, and I need your loyalty and support on television as well. It's how we pay the bills and how I continue to stay employed. I'm going to rest for a little while, guys. Remember, tune in on WDRB News at 10, 10:22, and 10:37. Please remember to like, love, and share the video even after it ends. You can share more times and push the video out to more people. Share, let's get it up over 1,500. We need 110 more shares. I'd love to make it over 1,500 for the third night in a row this week, which is crazy as well. I'm going to rest my voice, and I'll see you guys on WDRB News at 10.